It's Sunday, so it's time for Formula One Foods with me. This week is Saudi Arabia. There are two things that I love. Well, there's a lot of things I love, but two things that I love in life are food and Formula One, and so I combine them every week in a video about the foods of the places where the races are at. So this week the race was supposed to be in Saudi Arabia, and as we all know, that got canceled due to the military actions in the region. So sending prayers and love out to the people who are in that region of the world, and going to make something to honor the cultural food traditions in Saudi Arabia. The reason I chose chicken shawarma is because it is a traditional food that is a street food that is found in really all over the Middle East and Eastern Europe. It's pretty easy to make, and today I don't have a lot of time because today Leah and I have our volunteer shifts at the New York Marine Rescue Center. Ooh, there I'm wearing my shirt. So I needed to make something that when I got home at 5 o'clock that I can kind of put together quickly. I did a lot of prep work last night. I marinated the chicken last night. I made sumac onions because I thought that they were supposed to go with chicken shawarma. Now I find out they only go with beef shawarma, but I'm gonna try them anyway because why not? I also have coconut dates for dessert, but I always have these for dessert because they are one of my favorite foods and I eat them almost every night as my sweet treat after dinner. When I come back, I'm gonna make some toom that will go on the shawarma with the chicken and the french fries because that's how they do it in Saudi Arabia. That's what the internet told me, and if it's wrong, all right, so I'm back and I'm about to make the toom, which is basically like a garlic aioli, but without any eggs. So this process, I've never done it before. It seems a little bit tenuous, so I'm going to try it and see how it comes out. A teaspoon of kosher salt, some minced garlic here, a teaspoon of lemon juice. Mix that up. A drop of olive oil, one at a time, and I'm whisking that in. So while I do this, the Jeddah circuit was introduced into the schedule in 2021. There's never been a Saudi Arabian race before at this point, and there have never been any Saudi Arabian drivers either. The Jeddah Corniche circuit is a street track, and it is considered to be a pretty intense race for drivers. And the drivers really tend to like it because I think just because it's fun to drive. When they announced that the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix was going to happen, there was some controversy around it because Amnesty International and some other human rights groups felt that Saudi Arabia's history with human rights was not great and that they didn't think that that should be rewarded by having a Formula One race there. The response from the FIA representative is that sports, motorsports, and really all other sports are unifying. They bring people together, they bring cultures together. And, you know, if you know me, you know that I'm a huge human rights advocate and that I'm American and that currently my country does not have the greatest human rights record either. Historically, it has not always had the greatest human rights record. So I don't know, pot, kettle, black, maybe. Not to excuse any human rights atrocities that have been committed or are currently being committed around the world, because there is really no excuse for them. But I will say this, the people and the culture are not the government. People are people. I was a cancer mom. And one of the things that I've learned over the years through my connections with other parents who have gone through ordeals where their children have received diagnosis of long-term illnesses or disabilities and things like that is that I can tell you people are people. Moms are moms. I've talked to and consoled parents of all different walks of life, different cultures, different languages, different religions. And honestly, the response is always the same. All parents love their children. All parents want the best for their children. Moms are moms, dads are dads, siblings are siblings. We really are all much more alike than we are different. And what is really amazing is that around the world, we share all these different beautiful cultural experiences and things that can connect us all. And so that is one of the beautiful things about Formula One is that it connects all these different cultures. And regardless of government policies, regardless of who's allies and who's enemies, none of that matters when you're driving 200 kilometers per hour on a track. All right, so my toom is a total bust. I don't know what I was doing. And all right, since I don't have a spit to cook it on, I'm going to just cook the chicken under the broiler. First, I'm going to bake it for like 25 minutes at high temperature, and then I'm going to put it in the broiler to get it brown and crispy. It smells really good though. Next year, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix will be held once again at the Jeddah Corniche circuit, which again, as I said before, is a street circuit, but they have built a full Formula One regulation track in Qiddiya, which will be the official track after 2028. So this track is exciting because that first turn will be a 70-meter climb. I mean, that's crazy, right? That's 210 feet, and it's like a roller coaster. From what I understand, it is very common for the Saudi Arabian shawarma to be served with French fries. So I'm going to make some shoestring fries here. So what's interesting about Saudi Arabian drivers is that even though there have been no Formula One drivers who have ever been of Saudi descent, we have two F1 Academy drivers who have been. Women in Saudi Arabia did not get the right to have a driver's license until 2018. But since then, there have been two women who are in the F1 Academy. So we had 2024, Ruma Jafali joined, and then in 2025, Farah Al Youssef. So we have two women, two Saudi women who have only gotten their license for a few years and who are successful drivers. In 2018, Rima Jafali became the first woman to get her racing license and then to go on to win international races. She competed in Formula 4, she's in the F1 Academy, and now she has her own racing team, and she is working to inspire women to pursue more roles in sports. With her team, Thiva Motorsports, she is the first woman to achieve an international title, winning the GT International Open Series. I'm going to start by putting the pseudo tomb on top. It says you're supposed to put pickles. All right, pickles, French fries. Okay, there's lettuce. And then there's the onions, but I'm not going to put the onions on yet. I'm going to try those second. All right, so here we go. I took a really big bite. It is really good with all the different flavors, like the pickles and the garlic sauce. I do want to try it with the onions. All right, so individually, all of the different flavors are kind of boring, but then when you put them all together, it really is a very interesting flavor palette, like nothing I've ever had before. Equally pretty sure that it's probably not like I would taste if I actually went to Saudi Arabia, but it definitely was an adventurous new food, and I really enjoyed it.